Kruger National Park versus private game reserves. Which safari experience is right for you? The Kruger National Park is southern Africa's most well-known reserve. Established officially in 1926, the Kruger set the standard for wildlife conservation on the continent, and in the almost 100 years since it has been in operation, it has welcomed hundreds of thousands of visitors through its many gates for a safari experience second to none. When planning an African safari, one question that is often asked is, Kruger National Park versus private game reserve? What's the difference, and which one is better? The answer is not exactly straightforward and instead depends on the kind of experience you're looking for. Stretching across nearly 20,000 square kilometers, the Kruger National Park gives tourists an authentic and wildlife-rich safari. But while the Kruger is undoubtedly legendary in every sense of the word, it's not the only place where you will encounter the Big Five or soak up South Africa's natural beauty. Surrounding the Kruger are a selection of exclusive private nature reserves within what is known as the Greater Kruger Park Concession, and each has a unique style of safari that stands apart from the more public experience. What is a private reserve? When deciding on Kruger National Park versus private game reserve, you need to first understand what a private reserve is. A private reserve is a protected area of land managed by private owners rather than the state. State or government-run parks in South Africa are known as public parks, of which the Kruger is one. These reserves focus on conservation while giving guests a quieter, more personalized safari experience. Unlike national parks, private reserves often limit the number of vehicles on game drives and allow for off-road tracking, which means closer animal sightings and fewer crowds. In fact, some reserves only allow those who are staying within the park to go on a safari ride. Some of South Africa's best-known private reserves include Sabi Sands Game Reserve, which is famous for its leopard sightings and ultra-luxurious lodges. Timbavati Private Nature Reserve, which is known for being home to white lions and for being immensely dedicated to eco-focused tourism. Kapama Private Game Reserve, which is ideal for those who want comfort and wildlife in one package. Monuleti Game Reserve, which is less commercial and often attracts travelers wanting a quieter experience. What private game park is near Kruger? There are several private reserves adjacent to or within the Greater Kruger concession area. Some are far better known than others, but a few of the best known and most frequented reserves include Sabi Sands Game Reserve. Sharing an unfenced border with the Kruger, Sabi Sands is famous for its intimate wildlife viewing, top-tier luxury accommodation, and fine dining. The leopard population here is exceptionally well habituated too, giving guests a chance to observe them up close, something you won't get to do in the Kruger. Timbavati Private Nature Reserve. Located to the northwest of the Kruger, Timbavati is a large reserve with fewer lodges, which means quieter drives. It's home to the rare white lion and part of a larger conservation initiative linked to Kruger's ecosystem. Kapama Private Game Reserve. Located between Hoedspruit and the Kruger, Kapama is a popular choice for guests flying to nearby airports. Guests who stay in Kapama can look forward to comfort, accessibility, and impressive game viewing, including all of the Big Five. Klaserie Private Nature Reserve. Far less commercial and far more wild and free, Klaserie is ideal for those who appreciate solitude and storytelling. The guides here often focus on tracking and conservation education. What is the best private reserve in the Kruger National Park? That has to be the Sabi Sands Game Reserve. It's considered by many tourists as well as tour operators as one of the finest wildlife destinations in all of Africa, which is why it is mentioned in many Kruger National Park versus private game reserve guides. The reason for it being considered the best of all the private reserves within the Kruger Greater Concession area is that this reserve is not only rich in game, but has built strong conservation ethics alongside a hospitality standard that competes and is renowned globally. Its open boundary with the Kruger allows animals to move unhindered between the two, creating a natural migration corridor. You'll find the Big Five here, along with cheetahs, hyenas, wild dogs, and a large variety of bird life. And the reserve is well known for being ultra exclusive, with only a few vehicles allowed per sighting, and the guides have permission to go off-road. This means you can follow a leopard through thick bush. Sabi Sands is renowned for its leopard sightings, or get close to a lioness teaching her cubs to hunt. Lodges within Sabi Sands include Leopard Hills, Singida Boulders, and the famous Ulusaba, all of which give guests everything from bushwalks to spa treatments, making it an all-encompassing safari retreat. What is the difference between a national park and a luxury private game park? The primary difference lies in access, privacy, and flexibility. And while the luxury private game park might look and feel a whole lot more exclusive, national parks can also be quite a worthwhile experience. When deciding on Kruger National Park versus private game reserve, this is what you need to know. In a national park, like Kruger, guests often drive themselves, following designated roads, although there are also plenty of guided safari options available via various safari companies. Animal sightings can be busy, especially near gates and popular routes. With all the cars stopping, you might miss out on seeing whatever animal it is that has caused such a stir. There are many serious rules like no off-road driving, no night drives in most areas, and limited guiding unless staying at sandparks camps. Breaking these rules comes with serious consequences. In comparison, luxury private game parks limit the number of guests and vehicles, ensuring more exclusive sightings. Often only allow those who are staying within the park to drive its roads. No day visitors means you will have a lot more peace and quiet. It allows some off-road tracking and nighttime safaris. Most lodges include guided drives, walking safaris, fine dining, and curated services, making your safari feel more personalized and leaving you feeling pampered. The accommodation usually meets the standards of a 4 or 5-star rating. Basically, the focus in private reserves leans heavily toward experience rather than accessibility, which, when deciding on Kruger National Park versus private game reserve, is a big factor. What is the best alternative to the Kruger National Park? If you're looking for something that matches the Kruger's wildlife but comes with more intimacy and fewer crowds, Madikwe Game Reserve is a strong alternative. Located in South Africa's northwest province near the Botswana border, it's malaria-free and rich in big game. Madikwe is especially known for its wild dog population, rhinos, and large elephant herds. It's also ideal for family safaris due to its accessibility and malaria-free environment. While not as massive as the Kruger, the quality of sightings and exclusivity make it a worthy contender. Is it better to stay in the Kruger National Park? It really depends on your priorities, your preferences, and quite frankly, what you can afford. If your goal is value for money, flexibility, and the satisfaction of doing your own thing on safari, then staying inside the Kruger National Park just makes sense. The rest camps are extremely well managed, and there's a good variety of affordable accommodation available, including camping and authentic safari bungalows. However, if you're looking for a more curated experience, complete with expert guided drives and higher chances of exclusive sightings, in the great deliberation between Kruger National Park versus private game reserve, a private reserve is the better option. Many travelers like to have a bit of both experiences when on holiday, and will spend a few nights in the Kruger and then move to a private lodge to round out the experience. For those who choose to do this, the debate around Kruger National Park versus private game reserve isn't all that important. Is Sabi Sands a private game reserve? Yes, Sabi Sands is a private game reserve and arguably the most prestigious in South Africa. Located right next to the Kruger National Park's southwestern edge, Sabi Sands is known for its luxurious lodges and numerous leopard sightings. Because of its high standards in conservation and hospitality, Sabi Sands has gained a reputation as one of the best safari destinations in Africa. Book your safari experience today. Whether you're drawn to the expansive network of the Kruger National Park or tempted by the intimacy and precision of a private reserve, there's no wrong choice when it comes to deciding just where you'd like to experience the untamed wilds of South Africa There are just different ways to experience that same landscape. Thinking about your next trip and need help deciding between Kruger National Park versus private game reserve? Let us help you shape a safari that matches your travel style, budget, and wildlife dreams. Plan your next safari with us.